Okay, let's break this down because almost every adult who cares for a child does this in one way or another. This child is clearly overwhelmed by all of the adults yelling to her. And what this child really needs is one of her parents to slow down the moment, pause, and help her regulate so that this child can meet their expectations in this moment. But that's not what happened. What happened is mom took the needle away from this child with a still developing brain, which immediately sent her down to the lower centers of her brain. So naturally, the child reacts with their survival state skill, and it looked like this. Now, if you look closely, in less than 2 seconds, you see mom go from a regulated executive state to a fight or flight survival state to a verbally aggressive emotional state. This is because when a child is in the lower centers of their brain, we get triggered down to the lower centers of our brain, and we start using the same kinds of behaviors that we want them to stop, unless we become aware of when we get pushed down to the lower centers of our brain and learn to pull ourselves back up so we can respond up here instead of react down in the lower centers of our brain like the children are doing. This is a great video to remind you that if you're hungry, tired, hormones are fluctuating, that it's going to be a lot harder for you to recognize when you're in the lower centers of your brain and to bring yourself up to your executive state. So it's important to have empathy for yourself when you don't always respond up here. And we can use that as a point of empathy for children, because even though our mood may fluctuate, at least we still have the part of the brain responsible for logic and reasoning to bring us back to reality. Children are still developing that part of the brain, so we all need empathy. But if you're not able to give it to yourself, it's gonna be really hard to give it to children. Now, I'm gonna play this video again without stopping it. What I want you to do is to recognize at what point would you have been triggered in this video, and what is that trigger story? What is a story you would have told yourself that would have triggered you? Is it that they're a brat? Is it that they're a mean bully? Is that I'm a bad parent? Is it that people are watching and judging me? What is that story that you're telling yourself that is triggering you? Then I want you to pause. Then take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and choose to change that story. Choose to see that story differently. Then come up with a better response from up here as opposed to using your reactions down here, like smacking your hand and saying, "Are you kidding me?" Practice this and let me know how it goes. Go!